And again, that was the president just a few hours ago on the foreclosures. To talk more about both of these major stories, NBC's Kristen Welker is at the White House. Also joining us, real estate expert Dani Babb, CEO of the California-based Babb Group, a real estate consulting firm. Kristen, I'll start off with you. It bears noting that both of these remarks came from the president within a few hours. They both deal with domestic issues, the housing crisis, as well as education. We heard the president tying education to the economy. Was this an obvious theme to many there that the White House was hitting on today?
Well, absolutely. Hitting on the theme of education, you heard him sort of in both of those speeches unearth some of the comments that he first talked about during his State of the Union address, talking about fairness and sort of creating a better future, giving people more opportunity. So it certainly is a day of big announcements here at the White House. As you know, this White House has come under a lot of fire this week due to that recent decision requiring religious affiliated institutions to provide contraception as a part of their health care plan. So this certainly does redirect the discussion quite a bit for this White House. The education announcement, the most recent one that we just heard, is largely being cheered by the education community, by educators, by union members. They say that their only caveat is that they want to see more reform. They'd like to see educators be able to actually sit at the table and help to improve education. Some people have argued that this gives Arne Duncan too much power, but all in all, the White House today really redirecting the conversation here. Tamron.
But also in redirecting the conversation, Kristen, we know the president has said Congress failed to act in making key changes to No Child Left Behind, going back to the State of the Union address, even going back to the better unemployment numbers that we just saw. The president saying to Congress, don't mess it up, don't muck it up here. Again, he's pointing to Congress, which very well is turning to his reliable adversary on so many things moving ahead.
That's right. And No Child Left Behind has been up for review since 2007, and lawmakers haven't been able to come to a decision about how to reform it. So the White House really putting this to some extent under the umbrella of his we can't wait actions. We've heard President Obama announce a number of these we can't wait actions. Well, this is one more, saying that we're going to take steps on education and on housing to some extent. This is, of course, the largest settlement in U.S. history, the largest that we've seen since that tobacco settlement in the 1990s. So you're absolutely right. Yet again, we heard President Obama today urging Congress to take action both on education reform and also on housing. You heard him talk about that during his housing announcement, urging Congress to get a deal done on his initiative that would allow homeowners to refinance their mortgages.
And Dani, let me bring you in on this because people are seeing this number, $25 billion paid by the 5 largest banks. These days, when you say banks paying up, an eyebrow is raised. Is this real money, real dollars that will turn into help, not just for people who are underwater, but those who have had their homes, really the process of them being foreclosed was done unfairly?
Yeah, it was. And, you know, of the $26 billion, about a fifth of that money is actually going to the government, FHA, and reimbursing the government for fees. So you've got less, about $17 billion actually going to homeowners.
So what does that mean? What does that $17 billion do for these homeowners?
Not much, honestly. It's going to be paid out about $2,000. If you lost your home between 2008 and 2011, you might get $2,000 spread out over 3 years, less than $100 a month, as a settlement for being potentially improperly foreclosed upon, which this is the government deciding what's fair for a homeowner that potentially had fraud committed against them.
Now, another $3 billion will go toward refinancing mortgages for borrowers who are still current on their payments and in their homes. So that would be some kind of immediate help.
And underwater. The issue with this particular component is that there are so many fees involved in it that some analysts believe it's going to take 3 to 5 years for an average homeowner just to get their money back on the fees alone.
So is this a better headline than it is for the people who are in trouble?
Absolutely. I think so.
All right, Dani, thank you very much. Kristen, thank you as well. Again, 2 big announcements from the president regarding, obviously, issues that hit close to home. And now to Decision 2012.